Hi Oren, how do you see the current situation when the great season had to end so unexpectedly and you couldn't train our the players for a month?
First, at the beginning you don't really know what to expect. It becomes stronger and stronger after every day. But when it started, it took me 2 days to, let's say, cry about this. But like in my life, like what I teach the kids also, you always need to look forward and try to get the best out of the situation. So this is what I'm trying to do. Churchill, he said, never waste a good crisis. So we try to do the best we can out of this situation, and there is a lot to do also.
So until this COVID crisis, this is for you and team maybe the best season in history in Nymburk. So what do you see the biggest reason of that? It's maybe like you managed to assemble the team in the summer?
I would say that success of a team, it always starts in chemistry and in togetherness. And after last season wasn't the best season for us, we took a decision in the summer to refresh the roster regarding the import guys and to bring younger guys, hungry guys with the will to learn and to be something, something together with something in the team. And I think we did a good recruiting, and the chemistry that the players had this season is just. It's from the beginning you could see the energy and the togetherness and the willing to be around each other, not only off the court, on the court, but also off the court. So I think the main reason is the communication and the chemistry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Also, players surprised the chemistry in the team. So it's maybe the best chemistry in the team in your time here in Nymburk?
We had a couple of good teams, nice teams when I was assistant coach also with Neno. But I played 7 years for David Blatt, and David Blatt told me once when he was a coach of me, when you go back and evaluate your career, you're probably going to find between 1 to 5 teams only that you really feel you want to go to the office and to be on the court with the guys every day. And I think this team is one of those teams.
So you led Nymburk into the best balance in all the teams in Champions League when we consider winning and losing. So how big success is from your point of view this achievement?
I think the success we had this season is unique because not only about the result. You mentioned the result, but we cannot really evaluate all the teams and all the groups because you don't meet all of them. But I think the way we perform, the style of game, the style of passion, the way we play, it was unique, and it was in a way very refreshing for what we usually see in this kind of competitions and this kind of level. And I think teams didn't like to play against us. Team doesn't like to play against intensity and aggressiveness and high tempo all the time, and it makes us really special. So I feel it's not only about the results. It's much more than that. And I think it's carried the crowd, with that, the spectators. They come and they saw that we put everything on the court. We always use this line. First of all, we empty the tank. It came from the great Bruce Springsteen. Always empty your tank when you go on the court. Don't leave anything. Don't leave anything on the court. And I think we played like this most of the games, even when we played some games bad. So yeah, it was privilege to be with these guys every day on the court.
Yeah, so coach, you have to be pleased that the team performance was increasing all the season. So do you believe that in quarterfinal against také in BCL will be team more stronger than before?
I cannot predict what will happen against AEK. I can tell you one thing: we had confidence in our group of guys, and I think they had confidence in the staff because the main thing is that we learn to control what we are doing. Okay, the way we do things on the court and the way we handle the situations. Obviously, we have a big confidence because one of the biggest things about the team, all right, about developing of a team, about during the way, is to see there is that you are starting in point A and you always move forward. Okay, you always move forward. You win. You meet the challenges. You win. You win the challenge. You solve the situations and you move forward. And I think these teams showed that this is what we do. Okay, every time we face a challenge. In the beginning, people were a little bit doubt, about how we're going to handle this challenge, but we always find a way to go through it. Okay, so I think it was give us the confidence that we can really can break every wall. Basically, I can never predict what will be against AEK. I just can tell you that we have the inner, and the hidden thinking that we can do really special things this season.
Yeah. And do you think the confidence comes in the win against Bamberg in Bamberg? Because players said that maybe this game was the change point.
I think we went through some challenges during the season that every time we succeed to manage this challenge and it gives the players that it doesn't matter really who is on the court. It's about the team. It's all about the team. It's behind this, you cannot see it. It's all about the team. And they really believe and trust each other that we can solve almost any challenge, So there was a couple of points during the season that I can mention that give us the belief. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, from which Champions League game you have best feeling in this season?
I can. You know what is amazing in this season, really, that almost every game meant something to us. It started in the first game when we started with this performance against Bamberg. That give us the picture that maybe there is something special in this team, But then we face the second round, we face an extremely tough match against Gaziantep. And we find a way to win the game. And you always said, winning teams need also luck. So it was part of it. And then we start our journey and then we face maybe the first challenge was Bocci injury. And then you go to Bamberg, after a lost game in Greece, without Bocci, we lose Pampi in the beginning of the second quarter. We try to mix the matchups, put Hayden on three, But you see the guys, they never think about what will happen if we lose. They always think how we're going to win, And so Bamberg was a key point from this aspect, that we see that we can. I mean, Bocci is extremely important for the team, but okay, there is no vacuum. Someone step up, In these moments when Bocci was out, of course, Vojta lift us, but everybody contribute. I can mention everybody in the league and then you go to Tenerife, that nobody expects from you. You fight for first place, and you play like a high-level team. Really, you see a team that knows what it's doing, and we really had the feeling that we can beat everybody. Everybody if we beat Tenerife away. So almost this season, the unique of this season is almost every game it's something special. And another thing that it's worth mention is that you can see when we come home and we play in front of our guys, our fans, and it's of course it's the core of the fan club, you know. But then you play in Prague, and you cannot find a ticket. You know, this was emotional for us, you know, to play in front of all these people that cheering for us, support us. Suddenly we feel like we are, yeah, you know what, we're doing something special.
So opponents against us had the worst shooting success in from all the teams in Champions League. So where is the reason of that? Do you think that was also the presence of Zach under the basket, because he was the best blocking player in BCL?
You know, I can mention for you without take anything from Zach, because of course, obviously, it was huge for us. But I can mention many great shot blockers that plays in many teams. That team was not the best defensive team. So in order to be a good defensive team, you need more than one guy that wait in the paint. You know. First of all, I would say that without a commitment, responsibility, and the will to learn and to listen and to care for each other, you cannot really play good defense and good basketball at all. And I think what we build this season, it's a bunch of guys that really think about the team and have the will to sacrifice themselves from their teammates. You know. So defense, you need, first of all, you need good principles, you need good structure, you need good habits, but you need players that talk in the same language with you. And then it's become like a snowball, a positive snowball, because then you have Zach in the paint, then you can put more pressure on the ball because you have confidence. Then if this guy, this guy on the front is putting pressure on the ball, so you feel more responsibility to deny the next pass. So it's like things lead to each other, and then we get confidence of what we do, and then it's easy also to install some tactic stuff, But in the end, it starts off responsibility, commitment, and the will to play to cover your teammate ass. Okay, this is sorry about the language, but this is the main thing. So it's not only one player. I can never say good defense is only because one player. Although, of course, Zach was a key point for us. Yeah, but it's not only him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the low success of the opponent shooting also mean that we have the most rebound of all the teams. Do you think that rebound and don't allow opponent to second chance is the main most important component of good defense?
I think it's another tool. I think it's extremely important. Rebound for us, it's an issue, both ends. But people, many people think that rebound it's only about athleticism and ability and maybe sense or whatever. But I think rebound is first of all it's about approach, and I think you can ask the players, how many times they heard the word rebound during the practices. So rebound it's a big factor for us because I think it's a big factor in the game anyway. So for sure it was very helpful for us to bring some more wins.
And do you have some how to teach players to be good rebounder?
We have a lot of stuff we do in the team. I think we do something unique about the way we go to rebound as a team. We have a structure for that. We are not traditional regarding this, because we believe everything starts with this. We have a circle of life, we call it, a circle of game. We start with a shot, rebound, and then how we go back to defense, how we play defense, how we push the ball, and then rebound again. So it's like never-ending story. So we work on this every practice. We show videos on this, we analyze this, and the funny and not the funny, but the inspirational thing in this is that a lot of players that never considered that as a good rebounders suddenly become players that affect the team by rebounding, especially on the offensive end. Guards that used to, I can tell you about Vojta, for example, okay? Vojta, I think 5 years ago, he was I remember, I had a small, he probably don't remember this, I was assistant coach. But I asked him, like, you are 2 meters, you are most of the time guarded by players that, smaller than you, and you finish a game with only 1 rebound. But I think until we changed the strategy of the team, he couldn't have the ability to show his abilities. I think now suddenly he finished games, you can find games that you finish with. So Vojta and Bocci and Pampi, especially the guards, because bigs anyway are there. Koitz, he will play for the Toronto Raptors, he will probably grab 7 offensive rebounds. This is his nature. But other players suddenly felt that they have something to earn from this. So they go to the rebound and we push them to go with this, under the strategy, not like a jungle, yeah. But suddenly you can feel. I think they enjoy it. They enjoy this style and they like it. And everybody can go to rebound. Every team can say, okay, we send everybody to rebound, but it's what happens after if you don't take the rebound. So we have some system for this. I think the players, most of them, especially the local guys, because it's not the first year, and I see this also in the national team after. So I think it's more enjoyable, to do it.
Yeah. We are only team in which 8 players have the efficiency rating 9 and more in base group of the VCL. So it shows how we play like the team.
Look, I can tell you this: if you have a superstar, let's say you have Michael Jordan in the team, and he scored 50 and everybody worked for him, for me it's also show a team play, a team game. So you can take it for any direction. I think the strength, first of all, Nymburk know as a team always, all over there is that the local guys are very important and they are not only statistics, standing in the corners. And always, most of the good years we had, also when I was, of course, with Neno, is that we always had some kind of balance, 7 points, 6 points, 3, everybody in the same area. So this is it's not only about how to split and everybody feels something, everybody feels important, everybody feels that if he's not playing his 7 minutes or 20 minutes, we might lose the game. Okay, and this is important. This is very important. And also, it's tough to defend. It's tough to prepare against a team that you don't. We have a line. We use a line before we go to prepare a game that we try to figure out what you need to do in order to win the other team. And we had this line that we use: you cut the hell, you kill the body. I don't think there is any head for us to cut that it will kill the body. And it makes us dangerous because you can never, a lot of times you don't know what to expect, you don't know what to expect. So, yeah.
So you had quite a young team. How are you satisfied with the development of the young guys like Kuba Tuma, Petr Šafarčík?
Petr Benda, Pampi.
Yeah, this is the second part of the team, but Petr Šafarčík, Deshaun Booker, Zach Hankins, Hayden Dalton, all young guys.
I want to say something because I hear it here and there in the, in the business, that a lot of young players have they don't really know, a lot of advices from people around. Don't go to Nymburk. Anyway, you're not going to play. They are a big team. Whatever. I think this is a wrong view of things. First of all, if you believe in your game, you should trust your process. Second, if we look back over the years, Nymburk always develop players, always, and everybody thinks to develop a player is only when he's 18 or 20 years old. Players never, good players, great players, never stop develop themselves until they retire. Okay, until they retire. So it starts with the young guys. Okay, and Kuba played for us in the league, and it's always started like this in the Czech league. I'm not talking about the way he practiced, which is probably more professional by the organization. I'm not talking about coaches now. Okay, in the league, get nice, good minutes. Not only when we are up to 20 or 40. Many games, like when it's crucial, play with better players. So it forces you to improve, to play better and to learn the game differently and to think differently, and the pace is differently. You need to take decisions in different environment. So first of all, about the young guys, okay? And you can go back and you can watch all the young guys that develop here. Second, Bocci, 2 years ago, played for USK, and USK doing a great job with young guys, okay? But if Bocci don't come to Nymburk, he will never develop his game to the level he's playing right now. And it's not over yet. Maybe he thinks, but I know it's not over yet. Okay? So develop. When people think, oh, Michigo, he's 25, 24, 25. Michigo will be one of the best players in Czech Republic in the coming years, and he will develop himself only here. He will have the best environment to play in different kind of level. With all the respect for everybody else, and I have respect because a lot of teams do a good job developing players. But to say to every young guy or to every players that play good in some, why you go to Nymburk? You will not get minutes. I think it's wrong, because first of all in the league, because we dominate the way we dominate, there is a lot of space to young guys to get minutes. Okay, like we did with Kuba a decision in the beginning of the season, us, the coaches, that we're going to push him starting lineup many times, playing crucial moments many times, making mistakes, live with this, So this is first of all about this myth, about Nymburk don't develop players. And I can tell you a lot of side stories, okay? First of all, Vojta Ruban became one of the best Champions League players. Only 3-4 years ago, his game was totally different. He changed his game because of him, because he was smart enough to listen, to have the courage to do different things. Bocci, I'm not even talking about Bocci, where he was 2 years ago and where he is now, okay? Petr Benda, 3 years ago, he would never shoot a three-point shot. Never. I came to him, I remember, we came to him in the summer, I told him, Petr, I know you like to work about your body, blah, blah, spend your summer shooting threes, because this is what you're going to be for us in the coming years. and he developed his game. So to tell that Nymburk don't develop players, let's go to national team and see who is the core of the national team, and tell me, watch every national team in Europe and tell me who is the core from the national team, from the same team like we have, and players that become better and better every day, every year. So my advice is to young players that they need to take decisions based on what they believe and what they think, and not to get sometimes advices from people with interest.
Okay. So we have lost only twice. We have club record 9 wins in a row in BCL. So it's no wonder that you are considering like maybe the coach of the year in BCL. Is maybe this season also for you special and breakthrough in your coaching career?
First of all, my first ambition is to get one-time coach of the year in Czech Republic. But probably I'm not good enough for that, so that's okay. I will need to improve myself. Talking seriously now. First of all, Neno one time, or not one time, many times used to tell me, look, you want to be a good coach, you want to be a great coach, you need good players. So I get that, and for sure this is very important. But I also think that to be a good coach, it's to fulfill your potential and to improve every time and every season, and come with new ideas and take more risks and be creative. And I think we tried to do this in the last 3 years, in Nymburk. We tried to do some things that sometimes we feel they are a little bit different. And I think about this season, we mentioned a lot of stuff before about chemistry, about the players like to spend time together, but I think the main, if I can point about something between to say about this, it's the ability of the players to get my ideas, to understand them, and to be part of it. All right. And when the coaching stuff, okay, everything I do, if I'm considered as or candidate for coach of the year, it's me and Sasha together, okay, from basketball point of view, all right, because we are like working together. It's not a secret. I always say it. But in the end, if you can manage to create a language with the players and everybody speak the same language, even though sometimes you don't understand all the words, but you figure it out. So I think this is a good start, and I think things led to each other. Good chemistry, good players, good people, some new ideas that match. We try to do a lot of things that sometimes it's a risk. We put 70-30 into the system. You never know how players will get it. We go with the rebound. We started with this 3 years ago. We are all, I think, after evaluate ourselves, we are almost the only team. I cannot recall about other team in Champions League that try to play full court defense every 40 minutes. So there is a lot of stuff that comes together, but the main idea is that the players and the coaching staff create a language that everybody understands and accepts.
Now is season end, but at the moment it's like the Champions League will be end in the September with final 8 tournament. What is your feeling about this decision?
Strange, challenging, weird. I can find a lot of words, but like I always try to do in life, you need to deal with the facts, not with. So the fact is that the Champions League will going to end on because new rosters, new teams, new coaches, some of them, new players, everything is new. Okay, new momentums. So at the beginning I said, it's weird, to basically it's start a new season. But there is some things that you can find good things. First of all, it will force every team that will participate in this to change the way of preparation, because you start the season in a peak. Okay, it's remind the EuroLeague qualification we had a few years ago. But this is even different, because first of all you play for win, and you play for money. There is a lot of stuff, and so instead of like we used to do, starting the season 2-3 games in Czech League and then Champions League, when you can lose, even if you lose the beginning of Champions League, it doesn't. It's not about do or die. So it's changed the situation. It will force the teams who will participate in this to change the thinking about preparation, about understanding what will be the reaction after that, because probably after I don't understand you make this tournament, then supposed to start the Champions League new season after like 1 or 2 weeks. So then you go again after a big peak. So you probably have some reaction to this, to go down, and other teams can take advantage of it. There's a lot of things, but you always deal with facts, and this is the facts, and we need to deal with it, or whoever will be here.
The most realistic variant is that final 8 will be played in Jerusalem. So how they fight in Israel with coronavirus now, and do you believe that Israel will be prepared to invite teams from other countries in September?
First of all, I hope I will be there if it will happen. I hope I will be there as a coach and not as a fan. Nobody can really know how to read or talk to this coronavirus, right? So I can tell you one thing about Jerusalem organization, and Israel in general. If the situation will allow this to happen, this tournament, it will be one of the best organizations. Okay, for sure, everything will be fit, everything will be on spot, almost zero mistakes. But this is only if the situation, will be ready for sports. Okay, nobody knows, nobody can predict.
Yeah. But I heard that in Israel they used modern technique for fighting with coronavirus. It's right.
We try jet planes and tanks and rifles and snipers, but it didn't work out. Actually, in the beginning, I think it more or less in countries it's more or less the same strategy, because everybody looks left and right. They see what they do. Everybody pick up ideas and everybody goes in the same direction. I think in Israel, people in the beginning didn't really took it seriously. Didn't really take it seriously. So people were out. After a while, it becomes more serious. People start more listening to the regulations, and basically it's the same like here. They make you scared. I'm talking about the government in Israel. They make you scared. They tell you in 1 month going to be 1 million positives, and 10,000 dead. After 1 month, we have 15 positive cases, actual cases, and 200 people dead, which of course it's sad, but it's not what everybody predicts. So, me personally, I think it's a little bit too hysteric, but okay, you know, I go with the mask.
You stayed with your family here in Czech Republic and not go back to Israel. So, have you been considering to go back home, or why you decided to stay here?
We didn't consider go back home even for 1 second. You know, first of all, we feel comfortable here and safe and secure. Look, it's 9 years. It's not like we are feeling okay. Of course, we are not Czech, and we are foreigners, but we already have our environment here. Okay. So you know, our home is here. We still hope kindergarten and school will be open again, so we cannot get crazy. I know next week my daughter, she's going to kindergarten, and I hope my middle son will go to school at the end of the May, maybe. It's changing every day. But the final decision was based on the Xbox. We don't have an Xbox in Israel. We have the Xbox here, so you know, it's better to when the boys have something to do, we put them in the Xbox and we free our time.
Yeah, and now your children cannot go to school and must learn at home. It's difficult for you to teach them because they have school in Czech language.
Yeah. Well, with bar it's very difficult. Of course, we don't understand the language. Like it's not only about talking; it's about the professional language, like math, history, math, whatever. Okay, so for math, we have a Israeli guy that is help us, but it's very tough. I hope none of the teachers of bar are listening to this session. Basically, he's not into it too much. With Or, we change direction a little bit. With the middle son, we learn more Hebrew, read, write. Because we see it's very important right now. And so you know, it's like it's funny. It's funny. You know, it's funny. Hey, Daddy, can you help me in this? No, go to your mommy. And mommy, go. I talk to your teacher. And it's like you know.
Yeah. And last question from me: do you have a message for our fans? Because season ends and we cannot say goodbye for them.
I plan to write something actually. I would say shortly now. I always say connection between the fans and the teams based on deeper emotions than only winning and losing. Okay, one thing that I admire here in Nymburk is that no matter what, even if we are sorry about the language, if you stink the court, okay, we playing bad, they always respect and believe that we give everything we can on the court. And this is the only, by the way, let's say, demanding from the players, okay? But this season, I think what they did, okay, together with us, the way we performed, the way we played, and they follow us all the way to Kralovka, you know, and the bidder, but they also inspired everybody else to come with them, to be part of this party. So for me, they are very, very, you know, before every game, I start every game. Before the jumbo starts, I look at the fans club, you know, and we are like to each other. This is kind of a connection that is very important for me, to see their faces, before the game, during the game, after the game, when everybody is hopefully happy, or even if you lose, so they are like, you know, and I want them to know, okay, I want you to know that this is very important for us. This is like a fuel for us, you know, to push us, to make us a meaning for what we are doing, to give us a meaning. And small stories I have during the years, you know. When we win the cup, okay, we won the cup against USK after overtime. Many people, even around us, many people that, not the fans, okay, it's almost like a relief, oh, we won the cup. It's not like it's not anymore sometimes like a big joy. Still, we won a cup, you know, but then you go to the fans and they are happy, like this is the first cup they won. And they are hugging us, and they are they should, you know, give their hearts to us, and they are calling us, you know. So this is the meaning for me between a relationship for me, for the players with the fans. It's more than winning and losing, okay? It's emotional, yeah. And again, when we go back to this Champions League game this season. We started with the fans club, with the fan club, and a few more guys, and we finished with 2,000, 3,000 people. So, thank you guys. We love you from the bottom of the heart.
Okay. And we also give opportunity to fans to ask you something on social networks.
Amiel.
Yeah, well,
one
question from your son, Amiel, how are you?
Go back to school. You killed us.
And question from Yolanda Smith. Did you think that your team was going to do as well as they did?
You know, we never know. We never know how you start the season. You never know what you're going to get. I always say it again and again and again, like Forrest Gump. You know, life is just a box of chocolate. You never know what you're going to get. And this is like this. We started the season. We felt in the preseason camp in Slovenia, we felt we have something special. But you never know until you turn on the scoreboard and go official. You never know what you're going to get. But after we started the season with the big performance against Bamberg at home, so we said, you know what, yeah, we can do something this season. So it's not about feeling, I think.
The brothers Moto Trip ask you which new Czech players you will bring to the team.
Satolansky, Vesely. Okay, we have our ideas, you know. I must tell you something, that everybody thinks that Nymburk do like this, and everybody comes. And I can tell you, over the years, a lot of good Czech players, national team players today, leaders in their teams right now in Czech Republic, that we try to convince them to come to Nymburk over the years, you know, and they didn't want to come. So it's not like Nymburk have some magic, you know. Even with Bocci, you know, we chase him a few years, you know, to come. Nobody knows, but in the end of the day, you know how he comes. I came with him in the night with a gun, and I told him, if you don't come, I shoot. So.
Also, TT Brothers Moto Trip ask you which player from this season roster have biggest potential from your point of view?
Peter Benda. I think everyone have potential in a way to grow and to be better. This is very politically correct answer. But you know, you need to learn to be great in what you're doing and to be better every day. And this is what we try to teach the guys, you know. So I cannot. There is some guys that have some times. There is some guys that need to become from role players to leaders. There is some guys that needs to come from, let's say, important players to main players. There is some guys that need to come from bench to more playing time. Okay, you know, it's tough for me to say one name because I want to respect everybody.
Lukáš Kubínek 7 asks you if you can say something in Czech.
Of course, I can say a lot of things in Czech. First of all, I understand more than people think. Let's say that a lot of time, I think the players know now that if they want to say some bad words about me, so they are a little bit careful, you know, to talk about me because they understand I know more than what everybody thinks. I'm not talking like my wife. She knows to speak. My kids for sure. You know, but don't try me. Don't talk shit about behind my back. I probably will understand this.
Yeah. And one phrases can you show to the fans?
I can say some bad words also, but nah, okay. I can say words, you know, a lot of words. I use during the practice also, richle, because we always want to play fast, you know. Or, you know, I talk to them, you know, dolu, nahoru, all of this.
Yeah. And last question, Kolais 3 asks you, how old are you and do you have girlfriend?
Yeah, I'm 25. Seriously, I'm 48. And I have a girlfriend and she's my wife. If he wants to know some more details about my personal life, he can contact me on Instagram.
Yeah. And fans also interesting about it. Can you say how you met your wife?
Sure. My wife and me, it's a big story. First of all, she's the... Okay, you have the kids, of course, but, you know, we said behind every successful man, there is a strong woman, you know. I think she's a rock in my life and probably the best decision I ever made, I ever did, you know. We met, we were young, oh my God, she was just before she's about to join the army, and I was like playing, so we have 5 years different. I was 23, she was 18. We met, some friend, you know, met between us, and then we started to go out together. We were 4 years together, then we split for 5 years, then we came back together, and we are together since then. Like, we got married on. This is the problem now. We got married in 2006. The best decision I made, for sure.
That's great. Okay, thank you so much for your time.
No problem. And thank you.
Yeah, thank you for watching. We'll be back.
No problem. Don't waste this crisis. Work on your game. Spend time with your families. Get away from the families when needed. Okay? And good luck for everybody. Thank you.
Bye.